All right, Friday night, 49ers played a preseason game, and Colin Kaepernick took a stand by refusing to stand during the national anthem. Kaepernick led the 49ers at one point to the Super Bowl, but now he is a quarterback fighting for a job, potentially as a starter, more likely as a backup, and possibly as a guy cut by the 49ers. This has been a big distraction. It has gotten national headlines and forced everybody in the San Francisco locker room to have to answer questions about what do you think about his stand, what do you think about what he did, and what does this mean for your team? Here are my thoughts. I'm not a big fan of anyone sitting down during the national anthem because this is the best place in the world. And there are a lot of brave men and women who fought for the right for us to enjoy things like football games and observe the national anthem before the game. That said, those brave men and women who fought for that right also fight for the rights to keep us so free that we have the opportunity to voice our opinions or state our cases by making a protest that includes sitting during the national anthem. Where I have an issue is in a couple of spots. One, it's a big distraction for your team. And when you're a guy who's a quarterback who should be the rallying guy in the locker room, I'm not sure this is the best move for Colin Kaepernick. I think he even knows that. He knows that the attention it's given isn't best for Colin Kaepernick, the football player. And so if he is so for this cause, I can respect that. If he's potentially giving up a roster spot, which may happen. I mean, if he's not necessarily the starter or there's other guys who are close by, it's entirely possible the 49ers say, to heck with that. We don't need the distraction from a guy who's a backup on this team. That may happen to Colin Kaepernick, and I think he's aware of that. So kudos to him for standing up with possible real consequences to himself and his career. One issue I have, though, besides that, is he didn't have a lot to say after the game on Friday about exactly what he was standing up for. I mean, the gist is that he believes that he doesn't want to honor a flag of a country that has a systematic problem that has been allowed black people to die in streets unjustly, and there has been no justice in some of those cases. You can debate how much validity is behind that based off of statistics and what the justice system has done. You can maybe debate whether the justice system has served its job. But Kaepernick hasn't given great explanations for his stance. And that's the thing. If you're going to draw attention to yourself and make some kind of a big public stand, you better be armed with all of the facts. You better be armed with all of the statistics and the motives for why you're doing it. Some of what I've heard Colin Kaepernick say sounds a bit like he's just taken some Facebook posts from people, paraphrased them, and turned them into a protest. It's not that the point is completely off base. I think there's some people who agree. But he's fallen way short of articulating it in the best way to get people to jump on board. And so what this discussion has ultimately become, his big protest for a cause he seemingly feels so strongly about that he's perhaps willing to give his career away. The discussion, the national narrative has been, do you have the right to protest by sitting during the national anthem? It hasn't been about what Colin Kaepernick wants us all to talk about. And that's why his protest has missed the mark. We got to take a break. We will come back. We will wrap things up right after this.